The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. This is The Ramsey Show. George Camel Ramsey personality is my co-host today. He's also the host of the ever-popular Fine Print podcast right there on Ramsey Networks, and millions of you have tuned into that. Thank you very, very much. Today we're going to be talking to you about your work. We're going to be talking to you about your relationships, and we're going to be talking to you about your money, and we're going to be talking to you about you right in front of you. Open phones at 888-825-5225. George is in New York City to start off this hour. Hey, George, what's up?
Hey, how are you? It's great to talk with you.
You too, man. How can I help?
I'm calling because I'm struggling with figuring out how to balance growing a business I recently started while also doing a lot of the home care with my 2 young children and a 3rd kid on the way, and probably needing to pay for some child care. I'm trying to get out of about $225,000 of debt with my wife, and we're having a hard time figuring out how to do that quickly and efficiently without my having more time to grow the business.
Okay. What kind of debt?
A lot of student loan debt, a lot of mistakes, and paying way too much for school. I'm a psychologist, and I spent over $300,000 to become a psychologist. So I think you say a lot of stupid, I've heard you say before.
Yeah. What's your business? You open a practice?
So I did. I for a long time was going to do the public service loan forgiveness, but you all were part of my inspiration to decide not to do that and to pay back what I borrowed. And I've paid back. My wife and I have paid back over $100,000 of that so far, and we have $225 left.
Well, we inspire people to pay back what you owe, for one thing, but it's also important that we also give you information. The student loan forgiveness is a complete fraud, that only 4,000 people have actually gotten it, while almost 300,000 have applied for it. So we need to keep that in mind. It wasn't going to work, so there's that. But yeah, so way to go, man! You got a lot of balls in there. You're a busy man.
I appreciate you saying that, because it sure feels like it.
How's the business doing?
It's been fantastic. Thank you. I feel very fortunate that I've been able to do that. And without knowing much about Ken's proximity principle, that's kind of how I grew it and did it slowly, and then took a small step instead of a big leap. And it's doing very well. I'm very happy with it. I'd like to help grow it to be able to pay off the debt faster, but with myself, I'm doing a lot of cooking, doing a lot of picking up kids and getting here to there, I feel like I only have so much time. And
okay, because and why are you doing all the child care?
My wife also works. She's a school teacher, and she provides us our health benefits, and she's an amazing woman, and I appreciate everything she does. But with the flexibility I have with my schedule, that's where I'm kind of picking up, and so that's where the dilemma is. Okay,
what will your business make this year?
Revenue this last year was just under $300,000.
And what does she make teaching school?
She takes home. She makes a little over 70. She takes home.
Okay, so the person making 300, guy or gal, is taking time off from making 300 because the person making 70 doesn't have time.
Correct.
Yeah, that's real sweet, but it's stupid.
Mm-hmm.
It's real nurturing, but it's economically stupid, and it's part of why you're stressed. I mean, and she's also pregnant, you said.
And we just found out we have our 3rd child on the way.
Just found out. Okay, so first trimester. Well, awesome, man. It's exciting. Hey, listen, here's the thing. None of this lasts forever. And so when you're burning the candle at both ends, as long as it is not a 10-year prescription, you can get away with it. But you can't get away with it if there's no hope that it's going to end. Okay? And Christy Wright talks about it in the book we did with her called Take Back Your Time, that balance is not doing an equal amount of everything. Balance is doing the right things at the right time. And so in this season that you're in, you've got to decide, here's what we're going to do. And in the next season, we're going to do X. Let me give you an example. Okay, I'm just making this up. This would happen at the Ramsey house as an example. We're old school, though. I'll warn you ahead of time. All right? Sharon, in the first trimester, would take on more of the kids' stuff, and I'd put the wood on the fire over at work. By the time she gets to third trimester, she's going to need some relief for sure. And working, okay? And so, yeah, you're going to have to dial back work then and step in as super dad again. But super dad right now, yeah, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe your version of super dad right now is you throw wood on the fire and get some of this paid down. And then when the baby comes, you're probably going to slow down a little bit too, because she's got 3 and she's going to be, recovering from delivery. And so you got about 9 months, about the last 3 months of pregnancy plus the first 6 months of the new baby that you're going to be in super dad mode. And so you got to turn it back and turn it on, turn it off a little bit, and just go, this is for this season. And you two sit down and talk about it together. She may not be willing to do that, but that's what Sharon would do. And she would be going, listen, you go. Matter of fact, she would kick my butt out and go get the work done. You're the one making money. She didn't have any tolerance for. I mean, we had Rachel the year we filed bankruptcy. So I kind of stopped by the hospital, saw the baby, went back to work. I mean, it really wasn't like...
Yeah. Rachel doesn't remember that, does she?
Yeah, and it didn't affect Rachel at all. I mean, Sharon's like old school. She's like, what are you doing here? You're supposed to be working. We need the money. Yeah. So, but that's, but it's a temporary thing. I wasn't an absentee dad the entire time my children were there. But I really, when I was starting the business, there was a season that I poured on the wood, and then there's a season that you have to be there as a dad, more so, like to help your wife in these things, and there's a season she has to help.
Yeah.
And it's back and forth and back and forth. And then there's also a season where it's just freaking crazy, and it's just not forever, and we can hold on by the skin of our teeth and just grit our teeth and push through it.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are making $370,000. There's no reason you can't get some childcare, get some help here so that you can focus on work, because you're going to make more than you would have if you were staying home taking care of the kids versus putting them in some kind of childcare for this season, like Dave's saying. And you can pay this off in under 2 years with your income. This is easily possible, but it feels like a lot right now when you're juggling it all at once.
But her third trimester through the first 6 months of the third child being born, your business is going to suffer because you need to be there with your family. But during the next 6 months, your family is you're going to have to make some other adjustments, maybe. I don't know. That's one way you could look at it. The point being, if you'll take the pressure off of trying to be everything to everyone all the time and say, okay, for this season, we're going to do this. For this season, we're going to do that. For that season, we're going to do this. And then by the time when all this is over, here's what it's going to look like. And we get to go to Disney, and or whatever it is you all do to celebrate. I didn't go to Disney to celebrate, but I did take the kids one time after I was gone 60 days on a book tour.
There we go.
That was a season. I was gone. 128 media stops all over the United States. I was gone. But it was a number one. Got the career launch, got the book launch, came home, took the kids to Disney. That's
what they remember, don't they?
They didn't even know I was gone.
Life is full of firsts. As the first and longest-serving Christian health cost-sharing ministry, CHM has shared medical expenses for its members since 1981. We believe you should have the freedom to focus on your health while being supported by a community of believers, giving you the opportunity to create many more firsts.
Resolution season, and if you're like most people, you make resolutions on New Year's Day, and by Valentine's Day, they're done. If you don't believe me, look at the gym. The gym's empty by Valentine's Day. Can't find a machine to work out on till Valentine's Day, and then they're all available. if you've decided to actually get control of your money, let me help you. We want to walk with you way past Valentine's Day, because it's going to take more than Valentine's Day to get you there. And so you need to get into a Financial Peace University class. We'll walk you through the proven plan, the proven process that about 7 million families, about 10 million people have been through. It works. There's hundreds of Financial Peace University classes getting started right now, in person and online. So don't do a lame-o resolution. Actually set a goal. There's a difference in a goal and a resolution. And get signed up, RamseySolutions.com/FPU. That's RamseySolutions.com/FPU. George, I want to revisit the last call for a second and set some principles in place for everyone out there on this whole idea of work and time balance and being there for your family. Okay? To start with, we need to understand that family, if you're around Ramsey, is of primary importance. Having said that, there are a lot of ways you serve your family. One of them is making money by working, and that's a way you serve your family. And this idea that if you are working and making money, by definition, you are not nurturing, or you are not there for your family, or you're selfish, is not a true idea. It's a falsehood. Okay? Now, completely abandoning your family's emotional needs and spiritual needs and psychological needs in the name of work is not something we would recommend. Family is primary. As a matter of fact, one of our core values here is family. At Ramsey, it's one of our 14 core values, family. And it doesn't mean that we're all family, although we all treat each other like family, but or the majority of us do. But but we put family first. Having said that, there is a mindset that floats around out there in the culture right now that says, to the extent I work, I am abandoning my family. And so if I really pour on the coals to get out of debt for 6 months or a year or 2 years and I work 5 jobs, then I'm not a good dad. I'm not a good mom. And that is simply not true. Agreed?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And it's interesting because a lot of the call we had from George in New York City, I could tell his struggle of, I want to be a good dad, but I also feel like I need to provide for the family, but I don't want to be that dad who abandons his family in the name of work like you're talking about. And I don't see it as this either or. Either you get to be a good dad or you get to provide for your family. You can do both, and they're going to be in seasons. And while they're young like this, I don't remember anything from when I was 3 years old if my dad was working a lot. But if you can get out of debt in these 2 years while the kids are young, and you can be there for them for the rest of their life, that's a game changer. Instead of being broke for the next 20 years in the name of being a good dad and being there for them.
Yeah, my kids and in the Ramsey family have traveled all over the world with their dad and mom, have seen and done things I never even dreamed I would do as a little redneck kid growing up, much less get to do that for my kids. And for that matter now, with their spouses.
Yeah, and the grandkids.
And now the grandbabies. We get to share a lot of things and a lot of experiences because of the price that was paid when they were tiny.
Exactly.
And living like no one else so that later you can live and give like no one else. So we are not anti-family, but I also will not allow you in the marketplace to use your compassionate, nurturing heart as an excuse to not get your freaking work done. Because there's a season, and during that season, you do what it takes. And the season is not forever. It's for a period of time. You work like no one else so that later you can work like no one else. And you... and sometimes, a baby's on the way, so you don't get to work because you got to be there. You got 2 little kids, and she's in her 3rd trimester. He needs to be there for that.
Yeah.
He needs to be there. He can't shut down his entire practice, but he doesn't need to be working 80 hours over there. She's going to need the logistical support in that household, and there's this idea that one means the other is not happening, and it is a both and. Because you do it in seasons.
Yeah.
And workaholism is you get your identity from working, and so you work all the time forever. That's not a season. That's an illness. And that's a misperception of work. But being afraid of hard work or avoiding hard work, because by definition that means you're not a good dad or good mom, is also that's also a falsehood.
Yeah. So the real balance is, am I willing to sacrifice for 18 months to get out of $225,000 in debt so that I can be there for the next 18 years?
Yeah.
That's the trade.
Or we did some wacky stuff while our back was against the wall. While we were at rock bottom, whatever metaphor we want to use here, right? I mean, we did some wacky stuff to just survive, much less hoping to prosper in the future. And, so there's some things you're going to do for a period of time. You're going to put grad school on hold till you get this done. And then you go back and do it later, finish it later. You're going to, not work at the $70,000 job for 2 years while the practice gets built and you raise 3 little ones. And then you go back into the classroom, maybe. I'm not saying that she has to. And it's not a man or a woman thing. It's not a sexism thing. It's not anything to do with that. It's a simple trade of time for money and being present when you are home. The other thing you can do is you can work like a maniac if you'll turn off the television when you're home. And you'll actually be present in the conversation. Put the phone down, look your kid in the eye when you're at home.
Yeah.
Because most people, they I don't want to work my 40 hours, and then they sit and watch HBO reruns while the kid's dancing around. They don't even see the kid. Now, that's asinine that you said, you're not nurturing, you're an HBO addict.
Yeah, Deloney talks about this all the time, of hosing the boots off before you walk in the door and really be present for the kids.
Yeah.
Even if you're tired, take a moment to reset.
And it doesn't take long.
No.
It doesn't take much. I mean, you get emotional credit with kids that is beyond belief. An example was, we had a guy come talking about parenting, especially dads and daughters, one time at our church many thousands of years ago. My girls were a little bitty. And he said, take your daughters on a date. Get them all dressed up. You get all dressed up and go to a fancy place and take them on a date. Get a rose, do the whole thing, have a date night. I thought, hey, I'm doing that. If you ask Rachel and Denise, we went on dates through their whole childhood.
Wow. In their minds. This was happening all the time.
5 times, maybe.
Wow. But it was so memorable.
Maybe 10.
It stuck with them.
But you would think, I got a lot of credit that I didn't earn.
This was weekly for 20 years.
That I didn't earn. Yeah. I really did. Because it makes because you're actually not on the phone, you're not on email, you're not got HBO on, you're not got a football game on in the background. It's just you and the little girl. And you're at this nice restaurant, and they don't even like the food.
Yeah.
But I did, but they didn't. And you get French fries at a nice place, you get an eye roll, right? But
get the kids menu.
But do that stuff because you get more credit for it than you earned. And but it's about intentionality, and it's about being present in the moment, hosing your boots off, as Deloney says. And so I want you guys to have permission to, for a season, work like a maniac and not walk around acting like you've done something wrong. You didn't do anything wrong. Matter of fact, you did a lot of things right. In a culture where a lot of people don't even know what hard work looks like. I mean, let's face it, when we work hard in America, it's kind of a joke.
Oh, yeah.
Compared to working hard around the world. Very few of us really do hard work. I mean, I signed like 1,000 books the other day at this book launch, and they're like, aren't you tired? And I'm like, if I gripe about this, God's going to make me do real work,
Oh, that's good.
My wrist is tired. Ooh,
Yeah.
I mean, come on. I might have to carry like a tray full of food if I whine about that, right? So that's like real work.
I'll make you do some real work.
Yeah, I don't want to do real work.
Some great reminders.
I used to cut grass. I know what real work is. No, thank you. I don't want to do real work. This is the Ramsey Show. If you're looking for ways to update your home without blowing the budget, I've got it. For years, I've been telling you about our friends at Blinds.com. Blinds.com makes it simple to shop top quality blinds, shades, and interior shutters from home with easy online ordering and free shipping. With Blinds.com, there's no need to renovate your entire home. Just change out what's on your windows with upscale choices like faux wood blinds, cellular and roller shades, or even outdoor shades. Plus, Blinds.com guarantees the perfect fit, whether you do it yourself or you have them measure and install everything for you. Shop their latest looks and see how much you can save at Blinds.com today. The easy and affordable way to make your home more beautiful is Blinds.com. George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today in West Hampton, New Jersey. Alfred and Aisha are with us to do their debt-free scream according to my screen. What's up, guys?
Hey, Dave.
Hi, Dave. How are you?
Better than I deserve. Way to go. How much did you pay off?
$34,000.
Love it. How long did this take?
Took us about 2 years.
All right. And your range of income during that time?
And it was about $100,000 at that point. But now that we are out of debt, we are up 35.
Oh, so now you're at 135. What do y'all do for a living?
I am an educator.
Mm-hmm.
And I auto detail.
Love it. Love it. Cool. What kind of debt was the 34?
Ooh, lots of everything, right, babe?
Bad decisions, Dave. It was, let's see, car loan, credit cards, student loans. You name it.
Phones we didn't deserve.
Yeah. Okay, cool. What was the wake-up call that started this 2 years ago?
Whew, great question, Dave. Actually, I was working in radio, one of my passions, so thank you for having us here today. It's a completely crazy story, but I picked up one of your books, and I started reading it, and I never even thought about debt at this point. It wasn't even a thought in my mind until I opened your book. Changed my life. And I tried to convince my husband at first, and honestly, he wasn't ready to receive. And but then he did change when he watched one of your videos.
Oh.
Yeah.
Was it a certain video?
What'd you watch, Alfred?
So one day she just said, "I just want you to watch 10 minutes of this," and it was your it was like a
Financial Peace.
the Financial Peace University 7 baby steps. And what changed was like the way the numbers were just adding up, and I was just like, wait. And I just turned to her, I said, wait, this doesn't make sense. And then she was like, it does. It really does. And then so we ended up watching the whole thing, and then after that, like you said, Dave, I went gazelle mode. We went gazelle mode, and then it got us to this point now.
Wow.
That's incredible. So it sounds like the video was part of it, but, Aisha did a great job convincing you that this would work.
And you know what?
She didn't let go. She stayed on top of me about it, and I think that was the blessing in it, that she stayed on top of me. She didn't give up on me.
Never.
Persistence.
This
That's
is
awesome.
very cool. Good for you guys.
So
Thank you.
what does Gazelle Intense look like for you guys? What were the sacrifices along the way where you really went all in on this thing?
7 jobs together. We worked every job that we worked them together. My husband, he started his own business. We worked that together.
Yeah.
So the auto detailing?
Yes,
Yes.
auto detailing.
So Aisha, you're out there doing the cars.
I'm out there doing the cars.
No,
Dave.
Aisha.
Yes, and I was with him. Yes, I was,
Yeah.
Dave. Yes, I was.
I got a picture of you right here. I see you detailing.
That's right.
That or
That's
you're
because
praying
we're a
beside
team.
that
We
car.
stick
I can't tell
together,
which it
and that's
is,
what
but
we
yeah.
did.
So we did everything, Dave. We did that. We did DoorDash. We did
Instacart.
Amazon. We did everything.
You name it, Gazelle Intensity, we got it done. And we made a lot of sacrifices and a lot of the same meals every single week. And we know about rice and beans. We know about spaghetti every week. We do what we have to do. So we made a lot of sacrifices. And our kids, they were phenomenal in this journey with us. They truly were. Our daughter's 9 and 4 years old at this time, and they have been phenomenal in our journey.
And they're all okay. They're not scarred.
No, they're not. They have learned. And our daughter actually just gave us a goal for us to, she said our next goal, because we just finished our emergency fund, is a $100,000. And we had to take a deep breath when she said that. And we said, you got it. We're going to make that happen.
I like this kid.
That's impressive.
Yeah, so thank you, Anaya and Amara.
That's the biggest number she knows. She's like, 100,000, let's do this.
Yeah,
That's incredible. What I love about this, I don't know that I've heard this before, they were so on the same page and such a team, they even did the side jobs together, all of them.
That's
cool.
Yes.
That's very cool.
During the pandemic.
Yeah.
During a pandemic.
During the pandemic, and my husband switched careers, and I wasn't happy with my job, and you know what? I didn't complain about it. Instead, we said, what can we do? And with God, anything is possible and everything is possible, and that's first and foremost. If you would like to be on this journey, you have to make sure you're doing it the right way, and that's how it'll last forever.
Yes.
Amen. Wow. Amen. Well done. Well, you guys are the kind of people that you happen to things instead of things happening to you.
Yes.
And once you get on that side of things, where you say, you grab destiny by the throat and say, you're mine, I own you. Instead of going, I think I'm stuck. You ain't ever been stuck in your life, either one of you. You just needed somebody. You just need a plan, and we just showed you, made you believe the debt thing would work, and you
exactly
applied what you were already doing to that.
Right.
Yes, you just need a little discipline. That's it.
That's discipline, and that's right. And it was the plan. You're right, because we have been taught some certain things about money. Our parents have taught us certain things about money, but having a direction and not being directionless and being able to follow step by step. This is what you do, and then this is what you do. And then if you have that patience attains everything it strives for. Yeah. So you're going to get that if you stay on those baby steps. And, of course, we became impatient at times, but if you stay on the steps, you don't get lost.
You sure
yeah.
do.
Yeah, you know where we're going. We know. Was it worth it?
Wow. Our marriage, just like you said, we're a team now, but we didn't get here because of where we were before. We had to let go of a lot of things in order to gain everything, and we're only getting started. So it's given us everything. Peace. It's given us peace. It's given us peace. It's given us financial peace. It's not a joke, people. It's easy. Financial peace.
I love it. Well, I'm so proud of you guys. You're an amazing couple. You're a lot of fun to talk to.
Thank you. Yeah.
You have inspired a lot of people listening and watching this right now that it's doable, and you can knock it out, and it's just it's SpaghettiOs and beans and rice, baby. Bring it.
Yes.
I don't even have debt, and I want to get out of some. That's how on fire I am after talking with y'all. That's awesome.
That's true, because it is a fun journey. It is.
What do you tell people the key is? I mean, we heard a lot of them in the conversation already, but what do you tell people the key to getting out of debt is?
I would say God, first and foremost. Secondly, I would say discipline. And then
humbling yourself.
Humbling yourself to know that you don't need a lot of these things that you think you need. Just humble yourself and live below your means so that you can live comfortable for the next 30 years.
And your grandkids can live even better than you, and your great-grandkids and your great-great-grandkids, because it's not just about us. We're doing this so that we can continue this foundation to break these generational curses and to build generational wealth. So that's our why, and we're going to continue to do that.
There it is. A godly man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. You're
Amen.
amazing. You guys are on fire, man. You're so fun. I am so I'm so pumped with where you're going to be.
Journey,
you guys,
right?
you just don't do anything halfway. I mean, you go wide open. I love it. That's just turn me loose, and that's all we did.
Well, thank you. You have been an inspiration to us.
Thank you so much.
Y'all are inspiration to everybody. Well done. We got a copy of Baby Steps Millionaires for you, How Ordinary People Built Extraordinary Wealth, How You Can Too. That is definitely the next chapter in your story. I have a prediction beyond your child's prediction. I'm going with $1 million, not 100,000. I think that's what's coming here. So you're going to be there before you know it. And also send you a copy of the Total Money Makeover to disrupt someone in your family or disrupt a friend that's looking at you.
Yes.
They're giving you the side eye right now, and you're going to go, oh, no, this is what I did right here. This is what I did right here. You just read this and then shut up, okay? Yeah. All right, Alfred and Aisha from West Hampton, New Jersey. $34,000 paid off in 2 years, making 1 to 135. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1. We are debt-free!
Wow. That's how you do the phone debt-free scream right there.
That's the way you bring it. You bring it all on. Hey, they don't do it halfway, man.
Her phone carrier is going to charge her more for that.
Data overload. I love it. That's as good as it gets, though.
They get me. I need friends like them. They're awesome.
Hey, you do become who you hang around with. Can you imagine having dinner with them and then not going and getting out of debt? You can't happen.
No.
It can't happen. You become who you hang around with. Be careful. Choose carefully. Or you could hang out with someone who Eeyore is their spirit animal. Oh, well, you can't get ahead in America today. Try telling that to those two.
It's a good impression.
This is the Ramsey Show. George Camel, Ramsey personality, host of The Fine Print on Ramsey Networks. Don't miss that podcast. Season 1 is available for listening now. Brian is in Panama City. Hey, Brian, what's up?
Hey, how are you today? Thanks for taking my call.
Sure. How can we help?
My wife and I are in the process of selling our primary residence, and after that sale, we will profit approximately $470,000. And my question is...
Very cool.
My question is what money should we budget for, plus the additional cash we have to purchase a new house?
How much cash do you have?
We have about another $180,000 in cash.
Okay. And so... so you got like $655,000, right? Or $755,000.
Correct. Yes, and our goal is to truly be debt free.
So you're going to buy a $655,000 house?
If that would leave us with no reserves, nothing besides retirement accounts.
Okay, well you wouldn't do that. You'd have an emergency fund.
Right.
Out of that then, and so that's every dime of cash you have then.
That is every dime of cash. Yes. And
so if we set aside 30, then you'd have $625,000, right?
Right. And I guess my question is because obviously if we're not carrying a mortgage, that emergency fund we can fund a lot quicker. So I didn't know.
No, I wouldn't fund it quicker. It could be smaller.
Okay.
Because you don't have to cover a mortgage. But I'm not going to have you spend your emergency fund on a house. Now, so you're talking about paying cash. You're not talking about putting the $625,000 as a down payment and then paying off a mortgage quickly.
That is correct. We've always, through my wife and I, never lived truly debt-free. We've always had a mortgage. And with the sale of this house,
you want to do that.
There's an opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what did the house sell for total?
It's $920,000.
So you're talking about moving down?
Correct.
And everybody's okay with that?
Everybody's okay with that.
How old are you guys?
42.
Cool.
Have you found a house that you like that's in that price point, about $625,000?
Yes. Yeah, we think we can be in that price range. And
what do you make a year?
Well, I stay at home, and my wife makes about $150. So if I went back to work now that we would. Currently it's $150. If I went back to work, it'd be $300.
Okay. I like it. I'd buy a 6.25. And if you don't like it, if you kind of have a little bit of regret from doing that, and you want to move up to $1 million, I think you can do that with cash in a matter of a couple of 3-4 years. If both of you pour the coals back on, right?
Yes.
With no house payments, you could save like crazy people, and both of you working again. If you wanted to, you could move up on up in house real easy. My point is, the $625,000 might not be for 30 years. It might be for 3 years.
Yeah, that's. I guess that's a great way of looking at it. And to this point, I haven't looked at it this way.
It gives you a little freedom, like you're not trapped.
Yes.
If you don't look at it as it doesn't have to be permanent. Now, I don't like moving every 3 years. I don't like moving at all. I've moved about every 13 to 15 years in my adult life. I was in the real estate. My mom and dad were in the real estate business growing up. Our furniture was trained to jump on the truck. So
it was ready to go.
But like, there you go. And we had one couch that could really, really leap. And but yeah, the idea, like you guys bought the townhouse that you bought, and you just paid it off, and you all are 100% debt-free mortgage and everything. But you didn't buy that going, we're going to stay here 10 years.
No, we knew this was a
we're going to get in and get it paid off house.
Exactly. And we've got our dream, not forever home, obviously, because that's not a thing, but we've got our sights set on what's next, and we'd love to pay cash for that. And with Brian's shovel, $300,000 if he gets back to work, and they have no payments, including a mortgage payment.
You should be able to move quickly with Brian's shovel.
Yeah, let's go.
If he's going to send it to you.
I'd love that. But when you can put, $200,000 away a year.
Yeah.
Even after tax, you got no expenses at this point except food, keeping the lights on, all that stuff. That's fantastic. You could save up by $1 million home in a few years.
Yeah, and that $650 would have gone up.
Appreciate it.
Would have gone up during that.
So you're in a great spot. I love the heart though of they want to pay cash, they want to do this. We're never mad about that.
Exactly what I would tell you to do, but I'm just questioning because I'm making sure. We don't get halfway into this plan and somebody throws a grenade on it.
You don't want regret involved.
Yeah, exactly. Daniel's in Birmingham. Hey, Daniel, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, man. What's up?
I am self-employed. I'm an HVAC contractor in Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing HVAC for about 7 years now, and I got licensed last year.
Mm-hmm.
My question for you is, I have an opportunity to become a W-2 employee again, but I'm really entrepreneurial. I like working for myself. Problem is, because I just started a new business, it's very volatile, and I made a lot lower we pretty much just scraped by last year. I've met some clients. I've met some people who have a lot of investment property, and they'd like for me to do their HVAC. And so, I'd like to say, yeah, I'll make great money this year, but we don't know what the future holds for this year until it happens. And with me and my wife trying to go, we're finishing up baby step 1 right now and trying to finish that up, I'm like, should I become a W-2 employee while I'm in the thick of paying off debt so it's stable, or no?
No. What do you think you're going to make this year, really?
Really, I think I can make 80 this year.
And what's the W-2 offer?
72.
Okay, so you'd have to be wrong by 50% to really have made a stupid butt decision.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's what I want you to think about, and you can make your own decision. I answered it like if I was in your shoes, okay?
Right.
I'd keep going. And, okay, there's a couple of things I want you to walk away from this conversation with. One is you're good at heat and air, and you're not yet good at running a business.
Right.
They're two different skills. One element of running a business is marketing and getting new clients. And if you have a steady stream of new clients coming in, you can keep their heat and air fixed because you know how to do that.
Yeah.
And you'll probably figure out a way to cash their checks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you'll figure it out if you can get a steady stream of marketing going in. So you've got to, as a part of your commitment to stay self-employed, learn how to run a business this coming year, and that includes marketing, getting new clients. You're going to have to allocate time every day to getting new clients.
That's good, yeah.
And reading about, learning about, talking to heat and air people and how they get new clients. If they're in a different city and they're not a competitor of yours, and will share their secrets with you, making sure to ask every single client, hey, I'm a one-stop shop. It's just me. I need your help. Please tell your friends about me. It would mean a lot. And then the person that sends you 5 new clients, make sure they get a free steak dinner.
That's really good. That's a good marketing strategy.
This kind of stuff.
I'm encouraged to hear this because I know that you are about security and securing the home front, and
let me tell you,
and being debt-free is part of that.
That's the second thing I was going to. That's the second thing I was going to tell you is security when you work for someone else is an illusion.
Yeah.
Because they have to make payroll. They have to run the business, and they have to go into an insecure marketplace and bring in money so that you get a check and you have the illusion of security.
Mm-hmm.
There is no security. You're only secure as your ability to leave the cave, kill something, and drag it home. That's your only security.
Yeah.
And we know you can go take a. We know if the whole world falls apart and you're the dumbest guy on the planet by the end of this time next year, you can go take a job as a W-2 making 80. You can get a job making 80 as W-2. And so I want you to work on marketing a certain number of hours a week. I want you to work on learning to run a business this year. And I want you to understand your security comes from you and from God, not from working for somebody who is insecure, who's supposed to pay you money. And that's how payroll actually works in the real world, boys and girls. There's very few places you work that are actually secure. That's just an illusion. So hold on, we're going to send you a copy of the book, Entree Leadership. And if I were you, I'd keep running my business. I think you're the dog.
Yep, absolutely. That's the way to do it, man. Good luck.
Have a friend or family member that needs a daily dose of Ramsey advice in their life? Let them know about the Ramsey Call of the Day podcast. It's a quick hit of advice about life and money in under 10 minutes. Check out the Ramsey Call of the Day podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. Thank you for joining us. George Camel, Ramsey personality, host of The Fine Print, our fabulous expose podcast where he exposes where the fine print is screwing you, because it is. And it's the old saying about fine print. And we've got 10 episodes in the can from last season you can listen to now, and planning out how many of these episodes are going to be about timeshares going forward.
Oh, my goodness. We need to do an entire season dedicated to that. My brain would melt. But we did have a lot of fun. And one of the biggest ones we've heard feedback on is the true cost of credit card rewards, because it's one of those things you can send to your buddy who has his feelings about rewards, and you go, just listen, please just listen to this.
It's the Chuck E. Cheese skee ball tickets.
That's what it is.
That's the fabulous metaphor you put in there.
And we haven't even dove into NFTs yet. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, I can't wait. Well, Deloney and I were talking yesterday. The meta universe is now there, and Walmart has announced they're going into the space, so you can buy virtual drapes for your virtual house from Walmart.
Dear Lord.
That is, if you would buy your drapes at Walmart. Maybe you should get them at Target. I don't know. Or Kohl's. I don't know. Where should you get them? Kmart's not open anymore, is it?
No, they shut down, I think.
Yeah, they're virtually not
There's
there.
one left over, and there's a raccoon running it.
They're virtually there.
Yeah, the metaverse stuff hurts my brain as well. There's a lot of strange stuff happening. I just saw an article. Real estate in the virtual universe is 500% up. Someone spent $450,000 to buy the house next to Snoop Dogg in the virtual universe.
We talked about it yesterday. The little kids, this is the generation that grew up playing Animal Farm, and you could buy stuff and have a virtual pig, and it was like not real bacon. Farmville.
I knew James would know.
Farmville. That's it. And James knows this.
He is obsessed.
James, did you ever buy a virtual pig?
I never played Farmville or bought any virtual pigs, but we looked it up yesterday.
Okay. You went and looked it up after.
He did the research.
Deloney and I butchered the name of it. Yeah, I knew it was there, though. And you could actually buy things for your farm. Little kids could spend $5 and stuff and spend money, and now they've grown up, and now they bought a pretend house next door to
Snoop
Dogg's pretend house that is a real house. I'm so confused.
Exactly. Wow.
He has a real house, but there's a pretend house in the
virtual metaverse.
In the pretend world. And you can buy the pretend house next to his pretend house in the pretend world. That's what we need to start calling it instead of virtual.
Pretend world.
Virtual means kinda. We're, like if I say I virtually love my wife, she would say that means you don't.
Sharon, if you're listening, he
she
doesn't
would not
mean
be
it.
okay with that. I do virtually love my dog at times.
Yes,
and
that's
he's
fair.
aware of that. So the way he acts.
He virtually loves you.
Yeah, well, he unconditionally loves me because he's a dog, not a cat. But yeah,
Oh, that's good.
but hey, the whole idea that even the word virtual has got it means sort of, kinda.
Yeah.
It means not really, not quite. It's virtual, almost. I virtually got an A, but it was a B.
Virtual reality means not reality.
I was virtually I virtually graduated magna cum laude and said it was thank you, Laude.
Oh, we're having a good
There
time.
were people that virtually graduated now.
That's right.
They just, because of COVID, they quit. You can do a lot of stuff
It
virtual.
never
If
ends.
it's not real, it's not real. It's so strange. Well, nothing's real. It's all it's the Matrix.
Well, we'll
It's all
help
in the
you.
Matrix.
We'll help you guys in real life if you want to give us a call. How's that?
And you can check out the podcast, Fine Print, which is what started this little rant here, other than the fact we've got these things stored in our brain and they just had to come out our mouths. But, yeah, check out the Fine Print. There's 10 episodes there. One on credit card points, one on FICO score that's very informative.
That's right.
One on
Student loans,
of
bankruptcy,
course.
Bitcoin.
The bankruptcy one was really good.
Thank you. You were on that one.
The Bitcoin one was excellent. It was excellent.
Thank you.
You really, because what we find is that a lot of people, the vast majority of people investing in Bitcoin don't even know what it is. They just bought it because their broke brother-in-law thought it was an awesome idea, and they thought they had FOMO. They had to get in on it virtually, and so I'm just going to drop that word in my sentences occasionally.
You'll
just
be
to
really
keep,
hip.
Just to be keep everything moving right along. It's
Stay
like,
trending, Dave. You just
Yeah.
keep calling everything virtual.
if I'm just I'm a virtual host.
I'm virtually a billionaire. So there you go. in the metaverse, we can all be what we want.
Yeah, because you could just sell a lot of stuff that isn't there and make a lot of money that isn't there.
Fake money? This is where it all breaks
I'm
down.
so confused.
Let's stick to something we know about.
Probably. All right, Julie's in Seattle. Hey, Julie, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Thank you. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure, what's up?
Well, I am 66. My husband is 62. I'm pretty much retired. He still works, and we make about $60,000 a year. Our house is paid for and worth about $800,000. Our trailer and cars are paid for. We have $30,000 in an emergency fund and $611,000 in retirement. We have long-term insurance, and we're not contributing right now to our retirement.
You're millionaires.
I know.
Awesome. Way to go.
Thank you. Thanks to you and following your plan for years. I want to know if we can take some money out of retirement.
Yes.
Send you some home. We can?
Yes. How much are you going to take out of your $600,000 worth of retirement to fix up your house, your $800,000 house?
Looking at 40 maybe.
$40,000?
Yes.
You had to call me about $40,000 when you have almost $2 million?
Yes, I'm very frugal and very cheap, and I'm just afraid if something happens to my husband and I'm on my own.
Is this house falling apart? What kind of state is it in?
$40,000? She's not even fixing up the kitchen good.
Yeah. Okay.
What are you doing with the 40? What are you doing?
Well, I've got the new appliances in the kitchen, but I don't have the cabinets and the walls painted or the cabinets done and the counter. So just kind of lipstick in there. I don't need to be real fancy. The deck definitely needs to be done.
It's $1 million house. You need to do this right. Don't cheap out.
$2 million house?
No, I said it is a $1 million house almost. Don't cheap out on the kitchen and devalue the house.
Okay.
Captain Frugal Julie.
Julie, you live like no one else, and now, if you remember how the saying goes, you can now live like no one else. So we got to remember the second half, too.
Listen, you didn't call me up wanting to spend $400. I might have told you to take a chill pill. But $40,000, honey.
No.
Listen, if you take $40,000 and burn it in the middle of the kitchen table, it doesn't change your life 1 minute.
Oh, I'm so happy.
You did it! You did it! You made it! You made it! You did it! You live like no one else. Now fix your freaking kitchen. I love it. This is awesome.
Love making people happy. It's what we do.
That's what we do. It's not even a virtual kitchen. It's a real kitchen.
Make
and
sure
she's fixing it with real money.
Get the virtual
that
grapes
she
to match.
really saved. Whoa, real people. If you're not using Pure Talk for your wireless, you're paying too much. Pure Talk gives you the same great 5G coverage on the same 5G network as one of the big guys for half the cost. The average family saves over $800 a year. Go to puretalk.com and choose the affordable plan that's right for you. With their 30-day risk-free guarantee, you have nothing to lose. Go to puretalk.com and enter the promo code Ramsey to save 50% off your first month. Time to put 2021 behind us. Last year left a lot of people feeling burned out, sluggish, or as your spirit animal, we're stuck. But 2022 is your fresh start. This is your wake-up call. You ready to own this year? Well, we are running our New Year's sale right now, so you can get 73% off our best-selling books, assessments, and envelope systems. And that includes the brand new book, Baby Steps Millionaires, that will show you the quickest right way to become a millionaire. It's on sale there as well, not for sale at $10, but there's a lot of the books are at $10. Be sure and check them out. If you're having a hard time bouncing back from the wild year, check them all out. Redefining Anxiety by Dr. John Deloney is there for $10. Total Money Makeover is there for $10. The Essential Cash Envelope System is there for $10. And all of our best-selling books are there as well. Check them all out, RamseySolutions.com/store. Xavier is with us in Huntington, West Virginia. Hi, Xavier. How are you?
Doing well, sir. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
Well, I am in baby step 2, and I have some very well-meaning friends. I was actually in their wedding when they got married, and their kids call me Unc, so I'm really close to that family. And so when I found out that I was becoming debt-free, they were really hesitant. I have made some stupid mistakes before, so they're really concerned that it may not be the best thing. So how could I explain to them in a logical way that being debt-free is possible, it's wise, and you can still have nice things, even though you may not have what you could get with a loan or something like that?
Xavier, do your friends pay your bills?
No, they do not.
Then their opinion and your personal finances don't matter. And that hurts to hear. But the truth is, the best way you can convince them is by doing it. And you go, yeah, I became debt-free 18 months later. And here I am. I get to live the life I want. I'm not held back by debt. And they go, hold on, how'd you do that? Because right now it's a theory to them, right?
Right.
And it's a theory coming from a guy with a bad track record on theories. You.
Right.
Not me.
Right. Right. Exactly.
Hey, listen, here's the thing. One of the things we find when we study millionaires is they will often tell us when we're having conversations with them that their breakthrough came when they loved their friends and their family, but they no longer gave them a vote.
And I think I am right there.
Yeah. You know, I think your friend loves you. I just think he's stupid about money. And I don't think you're going to convince him from the seat that you're sitting in, because you're not sitting in a seat of credibility. So George is right. You go get out of debt and you pile up some money, and you can tell him nothing about what he needs to do, but always just tell him your story, and go, listen, I paid off everything and I don't have any payments. You know how that feels? It's awesome. I feel so awesome. I don't have any payments. And now that I don't have any payments, you know what I got money, and I got money to do this and I got money to do that because I'm not paying it all out in payments, and it's just awesome. And all you can do is talk about you, and then they'll go, yeah, but what about me? And we'll go, well, I don't know. I can show you how to do it, I guess, but I'm not going to tell you how to do it because you know, I'm not that guy. That was you. You're that guy.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, so I think that's what you do. You just got to go on and do it anyway. And, you know, and hopefully they will, you know, it'll be kind of a, it doesn't have to be snarky, but it can kind of be a Toby Keith moment, like, how do you like me now, you know? And you just kind of play that song in the background. And
Yep. And you always say if people are think your financial plan is stupid, you're on the right track.
If broke people think your financial plan is off track, then you're right on track. Yeah, that's
how you know you're winning.
That is. And you know, George, the number of times, I mean, I went to high school. My high school graduating class was 425 people. And, I mean, I'm old enough, a few of them have passed away now, right? But there's a bunch of those folks I considered very good friends. And I've kept up at moderate degrees with several of them through the years. But the number of them that are in my life once every 6 months today, 2, you know? And in other words, my friends group has changed from my high school. Well, that's everybody, right? I'm not different from anybody else. That's everyone. I mean, if you're 60 years old and you're still running around with your old high school buddies, that's a little strange, really. It is. It's unusual. It doesn't mean that you're a snob. It doesn't mean that they're snobs. It doesn't mean any of that. It just means people change, people grow, they move, they do different things. And so this may be one of the cases with Xavier. It may be that this is the thing. He was in their wedding, and I mean, I got guys that was in their wedding, and I don't even know where they are now, you know?
And if you've got emotional maturity, I mean, I've got plenty of friends who disagree with me financially. We just don't talk about finances. There's a lot of other things you can talk about. We can still be friends.
If we can't have a disagreement and still be friends, then we aren't really friends.
Exactly.
That's the other thing that goes with it. That's a good point. I like that. Lauren is with us in Charlotte, North Carolina. Hey, Lauren, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave and George. How you guys doing?
Better than we deserve. How can we help?
Great. So my husband and I have been working on baby step 2, but we want to get through it faster and in a smart way. We have baby number 2 on the way.
Whoop, whoop. Congrats.
And yeah, thank you. And expected daycare cost is kind of what's prompted our question here. So we still have $65,000 in student loans to tackle, and we've picked up extra jobs to do this. We don't have a whole lot of monetary value to our what we own to sell, aside from my husband's truck, which happens to be paid off. Both of our vehicles are completely paid off.
What are your vehicles worth?
Kelly Blue Book value on his truck is about $18,000 to $19,000.
What about your car?
Do we sell the truck?
What about your car?
My car is a '99 Jeep. It was a gift from a family member.
What's the Blue Book on it?
On my car, it's probably not more than $3,000.
Okay, all right. So that's the total of your vehicles. What's your household income?
$110,000 together without the side job.
And you have $65,000 left in debt. And what are your side jobs bringing in?
Probably only about $200 to $300 a week.
They suck.
Yeah, I mean, our jobs take up a lot of time, so our side jobs don't really give us.
Well, you've not got a good side job.
No, I mean, they're awful. You know, kind of working 5 hours here and 5 hours there.
Yeah, and it's not even hardly worth it.
Yeah, our permanent jobs take up quite a bit of time. We do have, aside from our emergency fund, we do have $15,000. So we could take our student loans down to $50,000, which is the plan. But you know, we want to get through this faster. We want to be doing the debt-free scream.
Except for the part where you didn't use your $15,000.
Well, we just did that. We did that fairly quickly in like the last.
You saved up the 15 quickly?
Yeah, we did. We have been ishing it for too long, and so about 5-6 months ago, we decided we're jumping in.
Well, you're still ishing it. Do you not know what the baby steps are?
No, we do. I mean,
Well,
we've got...
What part of the baby steps has $15,000 in savings while you have $65,000 in a student loan? None of the baby steps have that.
Yeah. Well,
Remember that?
I guess we're just trying to figure out, how to
trying to do your own plan.
So you got 15 to your name right now in cash?
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's take that. Let's take that down to 1. So that gives you 14 to put on the debt, which puts you at what, 51 there?
Correct.
I wouldn't sell the car personally.
I
because
wouldn't either. I'd keep your truck.
You're not going to create any cash flow. You don't have a payment on it, and it's not worth $45,000. So it's not. You're going to have to turn around and buy a $12,000 car anyways. So you guys need to hustle, get better side jobs, focus, hunker down, and you can get rid of this thing in 6 to 8 months. Pushing it?
You can get rid of it in a year. You get rid of it in a year. You got the other part of your issue is you're still going out to eat. You're still doing a bunch of other crap. You may not even be doing your budget. So you're still just kind of playing around the fringes of this stuff. Hold on, I'm going to send you a copy of the book, The Total Money Makeover, and I want you to follow it exactly. It works. Your plan sucks. Chaos. That's what it can feel like when your business is growing so fast you've outgrown your financial and accounting software. The faster you grow, the more likely you are to lose control of the numbers. And here's the reality. If you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business. That's why we use NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 cloud financial system. Over 28,000 companies use NetSuite by Oracle, including Ramsey Solutions, because NetSuite gives us a single view of everything we need to make daily decisions. Whether you're making a few million to hundreds of millions a year, NetSuite gives you the visibility and control of the things you need to grow, like your financials, inventory, HR, planning, budgeting, and more, all in one dashboard. Go to netsuite.com/Ramsey right now to get their free white paper. Jumpstart your CFO career. Thank you for joining us, America. This is The Ramsey Show, where we talk about your relationships, your money, your work, and your life. George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Bruce is with us in Fort Myers, Florida. Hi, Bruce. What's up?
Hey, Dave. Hey, George. I appreciate what you guys do. God bless you guys both for spreading the good news and helping people out with their finances. My question today is, what are your thoughts, Dave, or both of your gentlemen's thoughts on faking a degree for a resume to get a job in corporate America? Because the context here is I've been in the military 5 years. Now I'm in the reserve and have a couple buddies who've done so. And it's not illegal, but it's looked at as unethical. But there's a lot of jobs out there that require degrees, and there's like a $30,000 separation from, certain jobs that require them and don't require them. But
so what's unethical here?
Just the integrity of pretty much lying on your resume, I suppose, but the company doesn't even verify that you have a degree or anything. They just want to see it on paper.
Oh, I thought you said you were going to really get a degree instead of just saying you have one.
Well, that's my plan, but I wanted your 2 cents on it because it's not just a money thing, of course, but there's a lot of career opportunities, and I know a lot of CFOs at these companies who don't have degrees, and they've made it by word of mouth, by relationships, by everything but a degree, and it's like, is it worth it? Or not is it worth it, but does it make sense to
if
put
you're
it on your
asking
resume?
us if you should lie on your resume, the answer is no. If you're wanting to know should you get a degree and actually get one so that you can get a job that pays $30,000 more, that is a discussion we can have. But no, I'm not going to tell you to go lie about having a bachelor's degree so you can go get a job, even if it works. I don't feel good about that.
Right, and that's the thing. I have a couple friends who've done it. And
I don't care about your crooked friends. You need to be a man of integrity.
Right, and that's what I assumed was the.
Because let me tell you, I don't hire people here. We've got 1,157 people working on our team today. That's as of this morning. And I don't hire people based on having a degree. Not a single person in here got hired because they had a degree. They got hired because at some point in the interviewing process, we became convinced that they could do the job we were hiring them for. Now, some of that being convinced might be that they have a degree, but we have executive directors of marketing who do not have marketing degrees, and we have some that have a master's in marketing. Both can do the job, and they both got the job because they can do the job. If, however, I was to discover with any one of the team members that worked here, no matter how long they've worked here, that they had lied about having a degree to get the job, I would fire them instantaneously, not because of the degree, but because they're a liar, and I don't want to work with liars.
Right. That's fair, and I'm on your side, Dave. I just had to check in because I know people who've done it, and again, I know you're not saying. I know
people have done it too. I had a lady that worked here one time that told us she had a master's degree, and after she quit, she came back 5 years later. She's a friend, and said, "I have felt guilty since I've known you because I lied to you the entire time I've known you, and I have to come clean and tell you I do not have a master's degree in marketing." And she worked here, 25 years ago or something.
Wow.
And I still know her to this day, and I still like her, but I would have fired her for lying.
Yeah.
On that.
So, Bruce, what's the harm in you just going to get a degree if that's what you want to do?
Do you have to have a degree to succeed in corporate America? No. Is a degree valuable? Some are. Can you get in the door some places without a degree? Yes. Can you get in the door some places without a degree? No. Some places require a degree for you to even have a conversation. And that isn't a place I want to work anyway, because they're more concerned about pedigrees and degrees than they are actually getting the freaking work done.
Right. And to answer your question, George, the context is kind of like I've been in the Special Forces for the Marine Corps, and I know some guys in the SEAL teams and et cetera. And so that experience is way more than you can get any college degree.
Agreed.
It's just different, and it's a different kind of experience and expertise. So
but dude, if you ran a SEAL team, you can project manage.
Right, but I guess my question is a lot of things in America are backwards. Of course, that's well known, but requiring a degree seems just like such a bad filter to have for your company.
It's just not. It's not. If the 100% filter is you must have a degree, between you and me, I wouldn't want to work there.
Got it. Okay.
Do you know what you want to do?
It would be sales, some type of business development, but sales related.
Very few sales positions require a degree. They require the ability to sell, the ability the ability to handle your verbal skills and articulate an idea, craft a narrative, create a persuasive environment, and show people the need and fill the need. This is sales. Build value that is greater than the amount of time and the amount of money that the customer is going to put forth, and the customer will part with their money every single time. And that's sales. It's how it works.
Just got a free degree from Dave.
Do you have a degree?
I do, in communication. No one's ever asked. No one cares. That's the truth.
Wait a minute, but you started here as a lowly intern.
That's right. With a degree.
And worked your way all the way up to the email bag.
That's right. I was in marketing, though, for 4 years, and my degree helped. I don't think it was a factor in the conversation.
It was a factor in that some of the things you learned in getting the degree, you put tools in your belt.
Exactly.
And I've got a business degree. I don't have a master's degree. I do have a PhD in DUMB.
Yep, which is one less than John Deloney has. So there's something to be said. You're at least half as smart as John, no matter what your PhD is in. Sorry, John,
dude,
for
I got to
listening.
tell you, depending on what your job was in the SEAL teams, I worked a lot with those guys and a lot with Special Forces guys, and we do a lot of stuff with the military, and I'm a tactical shooter. I enjoy hanging out with them and learning from them on that stuff. And so you're more than qualified to step into some of these roles if you can just get the interview. So hang on. We're going to send you Ken Coleman's 2 books, Proximity Principle and From Paycheck to Purpose. Read those and you'll land the job. You do not have to have a degree to go into sales. Not when you've got military experience in Special Forces. You don't. And And you certainly want to continue to be a man of honor and a man of integrity, because that's how you started your life. And you need to continue your life that way. That is how most people prosper, is from integrity. Very few people with a lack of integrity have a long-term prosperity.
And that was part of the Millionaire study that we did as well.
Integrity shows up all the time.
Yeah.
And so I got to tell you, that's why there's very few things on the planet I hate as much as taxes. I hate taxes. I think they're unfair. I think the money is completely wasted by Washington. I think it's a disaster. I'm politically, philosophically, spiritually opposed to the unbelievable level of taxation that our country puts on us, while still 50% of Americans pay zero in federal income tax, and they take my freaking head off with taxes. But I pay every dime I owe. Exactly. Not a penny more. But we calculate it precisely, because it has nothing to do with the IRS. It has nothing to do with the stupid Congress. It has nothing to do with the stupid federal government. It has to do with my integrity. And so we run a lot of cash through this place, and every freaking dime of it is reported exactly. And, so I get audited. It'll be no problem. No problem.
Come on in. Dave just invited you.
I don't cheat on my taxes. And if I was ever going to cheat on anything, by God, it'd be that.
That would be the place to do it.
It would be. I would start right there. If I'm going to be a cheater, that'd be the first line on the list right there, buddy.
You wouldn't add a degree on your resume, Dave?
That one don't even come up.
Oh.
Because I'm not pissed about that.
Yeah, I guess you haven't had to do a job interview in, ever. It's been a while.
Yeah.
I'd love to see that, though. Our HR department interviewing you for the job, a CEO.
That would be bad. I don't think I could get a job here.
It's tough. You'd get worn out just in the interview process.
The interview process. I don't think I could make it. But it wouldn't be because of lack of integrity, though.
That's true.
This is the Ramsey Show. George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host. Thank you for joining us, America. We're glad you're here. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Mark is in Salt Lake City. Hey, Mark, what's up?
Hi, I'm doing good. I just have some issues with some family and money.
Okay.
My parents had given me $200K for a house that we ended up buying because they're ailing in age and they couldn't maintain the property they had, and my other siblings weren't really helping, and so it was easier for them to move closer and be with us. So I was perfectly fine, and I said, look,
so you took a $200,000 gift from them, and then you bought a house so you could take care of them.
In so many words, yes. I already had my home, already paid off everything. Basically, that home wouldn't work for them. So I had to purchase the newer home to make it more accessible for them, for their age, and then their requirements, like their vehicles and other things of that nature.
How old are your parents?
In their 80s.
Okay. Sounds like you've done a very nice thing, and they helped provide for you to take care of them. So where did it blow up?
Speak directly into your phone, Mark. Sorry, we're having a hard time hearing you.
They were being racist and sexist, and I gave them basically 3 chances to stop because I have 2 kids at home. So essentially, since they couldn't abide by that, I said, that's fine. You can have the top half. I'll have the bottom half. And, if you ever need anything, let me know. So essentially, I overheard my wife. She told me she overheard them because they're hard of hearing. They were saying that they were afraid that I was going to murder them and take their money. But they were going to ask for their $200K back.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so wait a minute. They were being racist and sexist,
Correct.
And they're 80 years old.
Well, it's not the fact that they needed to change. I didn't ask that. I just said, you're coming upstairs and you yell a racist, sexist.
You have to talk into your phone. You're mumbling.
Yeah. I said, if you're going to say sexist and racist things at the TV, you got to be cognizant. There's 2 little children running around. They're going to hear that. You got to stop. And I asked politely. And so, that was kind of taken care of.
How old are you?
I am 30, almost 40 years old.
Okay, so what are you going to do?
Well, I don't know. So the $200K, it was essentially given, and I didn't want it. I said, no, thank you. I'll take care of it myself. And then it became an ultimatum where they said, we give it to you and we're not going to do it, number one. And then number two, it helps us give a say in the house, which was fine. I was like, you're welcome to put up and do whatever you want on your floor. I can't have it downstairs because I have 2 little ones and I have to make sure that they're safe. So if something's unsafe, I just can't have it. But
when did all this blow up?
So it's been a progression over years, and then finally.
No, when did this whole thing blow up and they move upstairs and decide you were going to kill them for their money?
Well, no. So the thing is they've been upstairs the whole time.
No, you ran them upstairs and told them to go away because they were yelling racist stuff at the television.
No. That was the upstairs is more. It has the master bedroom. It has a bathroom.
You told me that you told them to go upstairs if they couldn't behave.
Well, no. See, they automatically live upstairs, and we would come up for dinner and things of that nature.
Oh, so they have to stay up there. Okay, then you run them up there.
No. So they're more than welcome to come down, but again, they're elderly, so coming down the stairs isn't really an option.
You're missing the point. I'm asking when this big conversation where you all got crossways happen a week ago, a day ago, a month ago.
Again, I gave them 3 chances, and
what
so
was the third strike, dude? My God, you talk in circles. What was the third strike?
So the third strike was when I was essentially I missed. You tried to have dinner on Sundays together, and so I was running late. There was an accident on the freeway. I called them, told them I wasn't going to make it, and then on the way home, I got a phone call from my kids' Boy Scout saying, "Hey, we changed the meeting. It happens tonight. Can you make it?" And I said, "I'll give it a shot." So I get home. I have just enough time to drop off the kids.
2 days ago.
Look, this is 3 months ago.
Okay.
I said, look.
Okay, so you've been living in this tension. Just stop. I don't want to hear all that. You've been living in this tension for 3 months.
Yeah, in a way, because essentially I was.
You need to sell the house, and they need to go on their way, and you need to give them $200K, and then you go back to your other property or something like your other property, the equivalent thereof, and they need to have their own life.
Well, I understand, and that's the easy way to say it. But again, you don't just get to sell a property, buy a house that you want. It's going to work for you instantly. The market here isn't like that. It's not, oh, here you go. This is, what you're going to get, and walk away. So essentially, they pawned the $200K off on me, and I said I didn't want it.
Yeah, but you have crazy people in the upstairs of your house.
Well, they turned around and said, "Look, here's your inheritance. Your 2 other brothers."
I heard all that. You have crazy people in the upstairs of your house who are yelling racial epithets at the television, and they're telling other people that you're going to kill them.
Yes.
This is not going where Have you noticed?
Yeah, it's irrational. I don't know what to do with the irrational.
I do.
Said,
get rid of it.
Yeah, but then how do I come up with $200K?
You sell the house.
Isn't it not in the equity of the house?
Well, so no, I went ahead because we are very well financially off.
Okay, what's your house worth?
We paid about, let's just round it to $900K.
It's worth $900K. And what do you owe on it?
Nothing.
Sell the house, hand them $200K, and go buy a $700,000 house. It's really not rocket science, Mark.
Well, I understand, but okay.
It sounds like it's hard for you emotionally, but the actual step is easy. We're telling you sell the house. That's it. And you're saying it can't be done.
Well, the thing is again, I mean, yeah.
You want me to get your 80-year-old crazy parents to behave like they're supposed to behave, and I can't help you with that.
No, well, that's not what I'm asking. My question is really ethically, do they deserve the $200K?
Yes.
They're the ones who gave it to me. They're the ones
I know,
who said
but you don't need the money.
You just told us you're so financially well off.
You don't need the money.
I agree.
This is not about the money. Yeah, you could keep the money if you want, but you got to give them the money so they can go buy a nursing home or go find a place to live with your brother or something.
They have plenty.
Go drive somebody else crazy.
Okay. I'd be done with this. I'd give him $200K.
You're going to have to you tried to set some boundaries inside your own home, and it didn't work because people who don't like boundaries, generally it's shocking they don't like boundaries. And so that's what happened. They went bananas when you drew a line in the sand.
Okay.
There's no scenario where they stay there and it all just works out.
Well, I don't think they should. I agree with you 100%.
But you want to kick them out and keep the $200K. That's not going to work either.
No, because I'm not. They're deciding to leave, and I'm okay with that. You know what I mean?
Oh, are they leaving?
Well, so I just found out today. That's right.
Good.
Today,
That's awesome.
they said, "Oh, well, we're going to get a place."
Okay.
And I'll help you. I mean, I'm not here to hinder you. I'm here to.
Right.
I was always here to help.
Right. Right. Well, yeah, I'll help them get out and get a place. And do you have $200,000 cash laying around?
No. I mean, I have, like, we in our savings have 80.
Okay. Okay.
And so we have that, but, I have kids' school to pay for, and we don't, I mean, really, that's the only bill I have.
But you have a house you don't need now if they move out.
Well, we do. I mean, because we still need the space.
You don't need the entire house that holds two people in the upstairs that aren't there anymore, dude. And so, okay, what would I do? I think you're highly emotional, and you're having a real problem thinking through this clearly. So I'll tell you what I would do. I'd sell my house, and I'd hand them $200K. I wouldn't be in a big hurry to do it, but I'd do it reasonably and judiciously.
Hey, it's Kelly, associate producer and phone screener for The Ramsey Show. If you would like to do your debt-free scream live on the show, make sure you visit theramseyshow.com and register. We would love for you to come to Nashville and tell Dave your story.
This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today here on The Ramsey Show, where we talk about your relationships, your money, and your work. We're here to help. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Erica in Destin, Florida, starts off this hour. Hi, Erica. How are you?
Hi, sir. I'm good. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
All right. So you have to be gentle with me because I'm sensitive, Uncle Dave.
Okay. I'll try to be nice. What's up?
Okay. So me and my husband are currently active duty military. I'm 22. He's 28.
Thank you for your service.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you for the support. So, my contract is coming to an end, as in my final out date is May 2nd. And my contract will be over, which means we'll be losing half of our income. And we got quite a bit of debt, and I'm nervous.
Okay. All right. So what are you going to do with your life, honey?
I don't know. I don't have any college or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I have to stay in to support my family. I mean,
No.
I'll do whatever I have to.
No, you need to go on. You can stay in. There's nothing wrong with a career in the military, but it doesn't sound to me like that was your choice. You just don't know what you're going to was your problem.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if you close your eyes and you said I could click my heels together, I'm Dorothy on The Wizard of Oz, and the man behind the curtain could tell you to do whatever you wanted to do, what would you go do?
Anything I wanted to do?
That's what I said.
Well, I would love to work for myself. I'd love to grow a blog and maybe be, a YouTube influencer. That would be like my dream.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know how realistic that is.
Mm-hmm. Well, do you have anything to say?
Well, yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Are
you going to be entertaining or are you going to be informative?
A little bit of both. I'm pretty smart.
Okay.
I guess.
All right. And humble. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're fun. You're fun. I like
Yes,
you.
sir. Thank you.
Now, Erica, in the meantime, I love this idea that you're passionate about being a blogger, influencer, and let me tell you, it is realistic. It's going to be about 28 times harder than you think it will be. This doesn't just happen. It's not a job you apply for. It's a job that you have to put in 50, 60 hours a week until it's working, and then you continue to make it work. But I absolutely want you to pursue that. In the meantime, it sounds like you might need to get some income in the door and get rid of this debt, which will free you up to focus more time on that dream of yours, right?
Yes.
So let that fuel you on this debt-free journey. How much debt do you guys have?
So in total, we got like 49.
Okay.
What's your husband make?
My husband makes 50.
Okay. And how many kiddos in the background do I hear?
Just one. She's just loud.
Okay. All right. How old is the loud one?
5 months.
Oh, he's perfect. Okay.
What kind of debt is this?
Well, my husband had some credit card debt and personal loans from his prior marriage, and then I have a car.
Okay.
How much is the car? Debt?
$20,000.
Of the 49.
Yes.
Okay, let's sell that.
Yes. Okay. That's exactly what we already planned on doing.
Good. Okay. We just got rid of almost half your debt.
So you're down to $29,000 in debt now. Do you guys
I'm
have
feeling
any?
a lot better.
Do you have any savings? Any cash?
1,000. That's
okay.
the baby.
You're working the plan.
Love it.
You working the plan.
That's the perfect amount to have. I
So
will
what
say
is
that.
what's Ken's assessment called?
Get Clear.
The Get Clear assessment. Have you taken that yet?
No.
Okay, it's $30. I'm going to give it to you for free. It'll take you about 30 minutes to take it, and it'll help you. It's in Ken Coleman's process from paycheck to purpose. The first thing you've got to do is you have to get clear on where it is you want to go with your career. Okay. Now, I think you need to develop a plan A career or a plan B career, whatever we want to call it. That is what George is saying, where you get out there and, quote, get a job right now, and you start your YouTube thing as your side hustle and let it grow.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I got a few million folk on the YouTube and tens of millions. And so here, let me give you a little clue about this, because we've studied these folks that are making a lot of money on YouTube, and I just kind of joined it because we were already doing this, and they just put it on YouTube. But so it's a little different than starting from the ground up. But we know a lot of people that are doing very well in that space, and what you need to have as you work on that. But really, this is after you take the Get Clear and you figure out some kind of a job you can go get while you begin to work on the YouTube. But you got that part, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, then you start working with your blog and your YouTube. And really, the big thing you need to do, and you can do it out of this Get Clear assessment as well, is you need to not figure out what it is you're going to say, or whether you're going to be entertaining, or whether you're going to be smart, or both, but instead what it is you're wanting to accomplish, who it is you're wanting to help. Okay, if you're a comedian, what you want to accomplish is you want to make people laugh.
Yes.
And that's fine. That's your job then. Okay, so my job is so if I'm doing something on YouTube, then it needs to make people laugh. That's what I'm doing. So you need to say, what is your YouTube show for? What is your blog for? And just, I want to be an influencer is not a for.
Okay.
Who is it you're going to help, and what help are you providing them? Entertainment, information, whatever it is, and really start to get a mission to drive your YouTube channel, because if you don't have somewhere you're going with it, it won't go anywhere.
Okay. So I did already start it.
Okay.
Just let
Do you have any idea what your mission is? I'm curious.
Yes, sir. I would love to empower just young women, but especially new moms. I feel like there was a lot I didn't learn growing up.
Oh, I like
that
it.
I've had to teach myself.
Yeah, a new mom's empowerment blog and YouTube channel. I'm in. Okay, that's it. That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm doing. You're already ahead of me. You already knew what to do. I didn't even help you at all. Okay, so good. I think you start all of that, but in the meantime, I think you do get a job. And it's a little hard to walk off from a 5-month-old. That's part of what you're struggling with, too. It's a little tough, but you guys need the income right now, and you need to clear up this debt. You're only 22. You got all kinds of time here. And if you can get that blog and that YouTube channel making some money, you can quit that job. But you got to get it making money first, not just be a dream. This is The Ramsey Show.
If you're considering a career in technology, I recommend Bethel Tech, and I'm not alone. Here's what Brendan said. Before Bethel Tech, I was driving Uber. Within 4 months of graduating, I got a job paying $60,000. About 2 years after that, I got a remote job that pays me $130,000, all thanks to what I learned at Bethel Tech. You could be next. Get started today at BethelTech.net and get $1,000 to $2,500 off of your tuition. Again, it's BethelTech.net/Ken Coleman.
Well, you hear me say all the time that every adult needs a will. That's true. It's a basic adult responsibility to get your will done. There's really not a good enough excuse to not have one. You need a will. If you have changed states of residence, you need a new will. If you've changed your marital status, you need a new will. You need to keep your will updated based on where you live and what your marital and family status is all the time. And you've heard me recommend an online will as the fastest, most cost-effective way to get a simple will taken care of. Get a lot of questions asking if that's right for everyone's situation, and what if you need a trust or you need a mirror will or what kind of powers of attorney. A lot of those basic things you can get online. So if you want to learn about all of this, you can take a quick quiz to figure out the kind of will that you need to protect your family and your wishes. Free service. Go to RamseySolutions.com/wills quiz /wills quiz, RamseySolutions.com/wills quiz, and it'll walk you through the whole process. And I know I can think of a lot of things I'd rather do than take a wills quiz, but you've got to get your will and you got to make sure it's done right, and you got to take care of your family. It's part of being an adult. So get her done. RamseySolutions.com/wills quiz. Our question today comes from Blinds.com. Find out for yourself why Blinds.com is the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings. Free samples, free shipping, and new promos all the time. You'll save even more. Always use the promo code, the magic word Ramsey, to get the best possible deal.
Today's question comes from Laura in Tennessee. Our family has been a Dave Ramsey family. I always agreed with the, quote, expensive college is a ripoff idea, and my older son is in community college now. My younger son announced at age 7 that he wanted to become an economist and fix poverty and wealth inequality. Almost a decade later, he still wants to become an economist. He wants to go to Harvard or Wharton and feels strongly that going to such a school would help him develop connections that would allow him to advance his goals, as jobs for economists are mostly appointed. We can afford to pay his way, but is it really worth $250,000 in tuition alone? There's a lot going on here. I'm intrigued by it. This is my personal take, I don't think it's worth $250,000 to go be an economist for the connections. But if they have the cash to do it, and that's something they want to do for their son, that's a decision they can make. But personally, if I'm mom and dad, I'm going, no, we're not doing this.
Okay. This kid is obviously a child of great intellect, and he's also a super nerd.
Yeah. 7 years old, he wanted to
7
fix
years old,
poverty
I
and
want to
wealth
be an
inequality.
economist and do away with wealth inequality. What 7-year-old says that? Come on.
Strange
seriously.
ones, very smart ones.
Yeah, that's an unusual child. And so, in a good way, maybe, but maybe. And
it sounds like he's 17?
Now the child is...
You said almost a decade later, so he must be...
17.
Close to college
17,
age.
A decade, so 16 years old. Okay, let me help you with this. At 16 years old, you do not know what you're talking about. You're so full of crap that it's unbelievable. I want to go to Harvard because I can make connections because economist jobs are all appointed. Horse crap. You're 16. You do not know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about, young child. This is why you have parents. Thank God. You need parents. You need a keeper. Even if you're a very smart and unusually bright young man who has had it focus since you were a child, a little child. But so here's the thing. There are economists in all parts of life. I have a friend who is one of the best-known economists in the world. He invented the Laffer curve, Art Laffer. He has a PhD from economics. I believe it was Cambridge, if I remember. He served in Reagan's cabinet, and he served in the Trump cabinet as well, wrote the last Trump tax law, is absolutely brilliant, and made almost none of his money doing those things. He instead manages wealth for others. I'll just leave it at that. And like lots of wealth with B's on the end of it. Billions. And so, and Art's like 80-something years old now. He's brilliant. He's a friend.
Still
He lives
real
here
sharp.
in the area. Probably one of the best-known economists on the planet that's alive at this moment, in the top 5 anyway. And so he would tell you that education is vital and education is important, and he would tell you Cambridge was worth the money because of the path that he ended up going on. But I will tell you that job, there's only about 3 of those in the world. And the rest of the time, the economist ends up working for a mutual fund company, or the economist ends up working for a financial planning company, or the economist ends up working for a large corporate entity that needs some economic predictions and models run out on their revenue projections. And an economist, and in all of those cases, there's no ROI on what you're talking about. So these schools are not better schools, and no, they do not provide better connections. They're just more famous. Let me point out to you this. Here's an example of what I'm talking about. Wall Street Journal did a study a few years ago, and 78% of the 78% of the S&P 500, the 500 largest publicly traded companies on the stock exchange, 78%, 8 out of 10 of the CEOs graduated from state schools. Let me help you with that again. Of the largest 500 companies traded on the stock exchange, 8 out of 10 CEOs graduated from state schools. They went to the University of fill in the state.
But Dave, they're missing out on the connections at Harvard.
But they're the CEO of household name companies. And by the way, the CFOs, same situation. The COOs, same situation. The chief digital officers, some of them didn't even graduate from college. And so, yes, you can get a degree there, but this idea that the connections you make in college are going to open your doors and make you successful is as dumb as the idea that the degree is going to make you successful. What makes you successful at the end of the day is you. Education is important. It's even vital. But where you get it and who you are connected to, there is no data to back up this theory of where you went to school matters. That these prestigious universities, that there's an ROI on them. We cover a bunch of this in Borrowed Future.
I was just going to say, this is all reminding me very heavily of the Borrowed Future documentary, where we go into this and we talk about, is school worth it? Are degrees worth it? What about trade schools and state schools versus the big name? And what we found out was that there's really no correlation between success of, hey, I went to Harvard or I went to a state school.
Yeah. Learn to play golf, join a country club for a tenth of what you would pay at that school, and go get a degree from a state school, and you'll be better off.
And if this kid, it really has the intellect that I think he has, I think he can get scholarships. They're going to be knocking at the door trying to get him.
If he can go for free, that's fine, but that isn't what she asked. We can afford to pay. Is it really worth $250,000, Trent?
No, it's not worth $250,000.
No, it's not.
No.
No.
But is he smart enough that he's going to be just fine and maybe could be an economist and love what he does? Sure.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't pay $250,000 for the pleasure of it.
Yeah. And but just because your kid has an unusual proclivity for articulating his ideas at 7 years old does not mean he actually knows what he's talking about.
It's a good point.
Or 17. And sometimes parents get all enamored with their kids' wishes. And this is why you're supposed to be parents. And, it's like, I don't know, I had one guy call me from Michigan. He said, my daughter told me she's going to this expensive school. What am I going to do? And I said, well, you messed up a long time ago because my daughter doesn't tell me stuff. I tell her stuff. That's how that works. So that's where we got confused. We got confused as to how this works. Got confused as to who's in charge here. By the way, it's my money. So, of course, she's trying to make a decision, reasonably. And I'm not picking on your kid. Your kid's obviously a special child in a lot of good ways. And that's all fine. But it does not mean he's wise. And so his opinion about the connections is something he heard from somebody or read with an internet article. This is The Ramsey Show. In the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage, Ashley's here. Hey, Ashley, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
Welcome, welcome. Good to have you. So you're here to do a debt-free scream.
Yeah.
How much have you paid off?
$68,808.
Good for you. And how long did that take?
2 years.
Good for you. And your range of income during that time?
Started out about 65 and then got up to about 90, 92.
Wow. What do you do for a living?
I'm a teacher.
Good, good. What do you teach?
I teach ESL.
English is a second language. Excellent. What kind of debt was the $69,000?
I just had 2 loans. I had my car and then my student loans.
How much was the student loan?
So my car was only 10 and the rest of it was all student loans.
So, my gosh, $59,000 in student loans.
Yeah.
All right. How long you been out of school?
2012.
Okay. So 10 years?
Yeah.
All right. What happened 2 years ago that lit you up, girl?
So I went on vacation actually with my sister, and we went to visit our aunt and uncle and cousins, and she was asking him about like financial advice, and I wasn't really paying attention. I thought I was fine. That was normal. And then...
You were normal.
Yeah. He threw out a bunch of different names, and he's like, you just have to choose a philosophy of what you want to do and how you're going to live with your money, and then research it and kind of get involved in it. So he threw out your name, and like I said, I wasn't paying attention. So a couple months later, I was actually walking my dog, and Pandora ad comes up, and it's your podcast.
Whoa! Wow.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, that's who he was talking about. So I listened, and I was terrified because I was completely ignorant. I didn't understand anything that you were saying. So
a different language to you.
Yeah.
I wasn't doing a very good job explaining it.
But it was just because I had no idea of anything with financials. I just, I got my paycheck, paid my debt, and then went on to groceries and everything
bought
else.
some food, yeah.
Yeah, and then that was it. There was nothing, it was paycheck to paycheck kind of. So then I kept listening, and I was learning more and more. And then I decided that, September comes, because I don't get a paycheck over the summer.
Mm-hmm.
So September comes, and I decided I wanted to start the plan. And I did September 9th, and then I paid off my last bill September 9th of this year.
Wow,
So,
exactly
yeah.
2 years.
Yes.
Good for you.
Yes.
So you went from not knowing what we were talking about to actually executing the plan for 2 years.
Yes.
Good for you.
I learned a lot.
Good for you. Yeah, you feel confident now?
Yeah, better. Yeah. At least I know where to get the answers now. So if
Yeah.
I still have a question, I know where to go.
Okay, that's
So,
good.
yeah.
That's good. And you chose a philosophy.
I
to
chose
stick
philosophy.
To. Yeah.
Yes.
Like
You chose the
your uncle
right
said to
one.
do.
I guess the Pandora ads what did it. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for that, you may not get plugged into this stuff. But you went from knowing nothing to then just doing this plan and paying it off. So you know more than you think you do, clearly.
So it's funny because if you ask my family, they would say I was good with money, but I'm just naturally a saver. So I don't really spend a lot of money, but I just didn't know what to do with what I had. So I didn't have any investments. I didn't have anything. So now that I'm on baby step 3, I'm almost done. I'm working with my smart investor and getting that all set up.
Wow.
So.
This is impressive. And you realize that it's 20% knowledge, 80% behavior.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why you only needed a little bit of knowledge. What you needed was the plan, and then you needed to commit to the plan.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what you did. You are very impressive.
Thank you.
Very cool. Proud of you.
Thank you.
Who was
Thank
your
you.
biggest cheerleader along the way?
My family. They didn't necessarily know what I was doing the Dave Ramsey plan in the beginning, but they knew that paying off the debt was important to me, and they were very, very supportive with it.
That's very cool.
Yeah. So
Very good.
now they know all about the Dave Ramsey plan.
I love
You
it.
can't stop talking about it.
But
I
yeah.
love it. That's good. Well, it's
Yeah.
your uncle. He got you started, so there you go.
Yeah.
That's fun. I'm proud of you. Very well done. Very, very well done. You're a hero. Good stuff. What do you tell people the key to getting out of debt is? You're successful. You paid off $69,000 in debt.
Mm-hmm.
Congress can't even balance their budget.
So the thing for me that was hard was because I only had the 2 debts, and I paid off my car relatively quickly, and then it was just one big loan.
Sticking through it. Just,
Yeah.
yuck.
So
Stuck in a hole.
and I kind of stalled out a little bit in the middle just
Yeah.
because I never had the snowball because it was just the one.
Just a big old,
Yeah.
mess, yeah.
So accountability charts was huge for me. I downloaded debt-free charts, and I would put it on my fridge and color it in. And then, when I would get to certain levels, I made sure that I would celebrate that and would, give myself some sort of reward for.
Yeah, you got to do
doing it.
something to get
Yeah.
The human mind needs to see progress.
Yeah. So
You
that
got to
definitely.
gamify it. Yeah.
This is brilliant. You've got it. It says Tetris. It's like
Yes.
Tetris, but it's a debt-free chart that you
Yes.
color in. That's fabulous.
And that I actually started because that's only about 35,000. That I started halfway through when I found that I was really slowing down and was kind of losing the motivation. So that wasn't even the full amount, but still I framed it, and it's
Absolutely. I would. You need to keep it because you changed your life. Not because necessarily you got rid of the debt, but you just took control of your life.
Yeah.
Instead of just letting things happen to you, you start happening to them.
Yeah, that was the big part.
You're an impressive young woman. Very well done. Very, very well done. Very cool. Very cool. So what was hard about this? The getting stuck in the middle?
Yeah, and just before I had the chart and before I would kind of do the celebrations, I would be like, go, go, go.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I was very gazelle intense, but, having to have, even if it was going out to a restaurant, when I hit a level on that chart or,
Mm-hmm.
something like that, ordering in, something.
You paid off $35,000 a year average, making $65. I mean, that's beans and rice.
Well, I got up to about 92, and that's because of tutoring. I was tutoring every day.
So how much did you make tutoring?
Probably about
15,000.
Yeah.
So what were you making an hour?
I do about 60 an hour.
60 an hour.
Yeah,
okay.
New York, and that's low in New York.
Yeah, that's a good deal.
Yeah.
Great side job.
What are you tutoring? ESL?
ESL, reading, social studies, whatever they need. Elementary. So.
Okay. Oh, anything in elementary. Yeah. And so just line up, and you can probably stay booked up, can't you?
Yeah, There was in the middle of it, I was doing at least 3 or 4 clients a day. So
after school.
After school, yeah.
Working a full time and then doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Now
Game
it's all
on. Yeah. $60 an hour, man. I know lawyers don't make that. Good for you. They're not good lawyers, but
clearly.
I'm kidding. You're a great lawyer. But that's amazing. So that's what you do right there.
Yeah.
So teachers, number 3, most likely career to become a millionaire.
I hope so.
Engineers who we found the most in our millionaire study. Accountant was 2nd and teachers were 3rd. Entrepreneurs and middle managers 4th, and lawyers, there they are, 5th.
They made it, barely.
Teachers actually have a higher probability of becoming millionaires than lawyers.
Yeah.
Isn't that wild?
Teachers have a head on their shoulders.
That's wild.
Lawyers are out spending themselves like crazy.
Well, there's that.
There's that.
Yeah.
But you will get there. You don't have to hope. If you just keep following this plan like you have been.
Look at you.
The budget is huge. Even coming down here, everything that we did, just put it into every dollar and keep track, because then you see, where your money is going. I had no idea. And there was so much. Once I did the budget, I was like, oh, wow, I actually have kind of margin here.
Yeah.
I mean, all
like
when I'm
where
dead.
was it all going? Where was it all going? Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like you got a raise.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive. Well, we've got a copy of Baby Steps Millionaires for you. Yeah. That's the next chapter in your story to become a Baby Steps millionaire, how ordinary people built extraordinary wealth and how you can too. Also a copy of Total Money Makeover, so you can disturb someone's life with it that you love and tell them this is what I did. You can go do this and you can win too. You're an impressive lady. Thank you so much for making a trip all the way from New York. We appreciate you being here. All right, Ashley from Smithtown, New York. $69,000 paid off in 2 years, making 65, bumping it up to 92 with the tutor action. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1. I'm debt free.
Yeah. Woo! I love it. Well done, kiddo.
That's impressive.
That is impressive. I got to tell you, man, you got a teacher out there that tutoring things real.
I need to go get tutoring, Dave. That's a good gig.
It's not a bad gig at all. This is The Ramsey Show. Our scripture of the day, 2 Corinthians 4, 8, and 9. We are hard pressed on every side, but not crushed. Perplexed, but not in despair. Persecuted, but not abandoned. Struck down, but not destroyed. Desmond Tutu said, hope is being able to see that there is light despite all the darkness. Talitha is with us in Nashville. Hi, Talitha. Welcome to The Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up in your world?
Well, my husband and I are in our mid-30s. We are on saving for college and paying off the house early, baby steps. But we've had an issue with our van door not wanting to open. So it's in the shop today. I don't know how much it's going to cost, but my question is, depending on the cost, would it be wiser to pull that money from our emergency savings, $1,000, or not put into our private retirement? We do our matches with our companies, but then the extra to get up to 15% we do on our own. And I didn't know which bucket to pull that money from for this van fix that we need.
I mean, this is an emergency, right?
It is.
So I'm going with the emergency fund. I'm not touching the retirement. Are you saying pull money out of the retirement?
No, she's saying don't put it in.
Or just don't invest and use that money to pay for it. I mean,
right. So we would still do our employer stuff, but what we do privately at the end of the month to meet 15%, instead of putting that in our private account, do we use it to pay for the van?
I would just continue investing as you guys are. Do the full 15%. You've got the money in the emergency fund, so cash flow this, and then you're going to fill that emergency fund back up really quickly, and you can still be investing. You guys have the margin to do that, right, in baby steps 4 through 6?
Right, yeah.
That's what I would do.
So how much is in your emergency fund?
We have $1,000 in our emergency fund, and in our 3 to 6 months of expenses, we have about $20,000.
You have 2 different accounts?
No, it's supposed to be combined by now. So now you have $21,000 in your emergency fund.
Right.
Okay. And so what is the repair, do you guess? I know you don't know exactly yet, but what are you thinking?
I'm hoping it's under 1,000. That would be real great. But it would be awesome if it was only around 500.
Yeah.
But we'll see. They'll let us know. Hopefully,
but if the whole world comes to an end, it's 2,000 out of 20,000.
Right.
And you guys' household income is what?
Combined income is about $140,000.
Okay. And so if your target is 20,000 and you use 1,000 out of your 21, we could just leave it alone at 20, right?
Yeah, okay.
Or you could if your target is 21 and you drop it down to 20, then you just budget, whatever it takes over a few months and build it back up to the 21 target out of your cash flow it out of your budget. But George is right. This is an emergency. This is why you have it. An emergency fund turns an emergency into an inconvenience. And the very fact that you are asking this question says that it did what it was supposed to do, because you're actually not panicking about this. You just kind of have this intellectual decision about which way you're going to do it. So it turned it into an inconvenience instead of an actual emergency, and so as it should. So good.
And you make $140,000. You got a $500 emergency.
Possible you need to start saving for a car, too. I don't know what this van is.
What the state of it is.
I don't know what that situation is. Aaron is in Indianapolis. Hey, Aaron, what's up?
Hi, Dave. How are you doing?
Great. How can we help?
So I have a little bit of an issue. So I purchased a home back in 2020. After that, my mom actually passed away from cancer. Before that happened, I ended up going tax exempt on my bill or on my check. So
I'm sorry, you went tax exempt.
Yes. So I know that was an issue, but I did that because I needed the extra money to help her out.
You mean you quit taking taxes out of your check?
You just didn't withhold anything?
Correct.
You had that option at your work?
Yes.
Okay. That's weird.
So I did that. Prior to doing that, I had some issues with taxes.
So now you owe the IRS.
Correct.
How much?
So the I owe them $17,000.
Oh, good Lord.
So the issue with that was that I had back taxes. My aunt used to do my taxes for me, but she didn't do them for several years. So I paid them back before I bought my home, but then everything happened with my mom. So
now you're 17 in the hole again.
Right. So I have a payment plan with them right now. I pay them $250 a month, but I also have other debt. I've got about $50,000 outside, or actually, I'm sorry, $50,000 with the IRS.
And what's your income?
$70,000.
Okay. IRS is at the top of the debt snowball.
Gotcha. That's what I was wondering.
Yeah, it's the top of the debt snowball because the penalties and interest are unbelievably expensive, and they have almost unlimited power to screw up your life if you miss a payment on this installment plan.
Gotcha.
And even if you don't miss a payment on the installment plan and they screw up because they're incompetent, they'll come clean out all your accounts and go, oops, we messed up. And they do that kind of stuff accidentally sometimes.
Gotcha.
So, no, you want this out of your life as soon as possible. And please tell me that after messing with these people 2 times, you're never going to do this again.
Absolutely not. I have a daughter now, and she is the why behind I'm trying to get out of debt. So
Do you have a tax pro you're working with?
I'm sorry?
Do you have a tax professional that you're working with?
I do not.
Okay, this may be another solution. Jump on RamseySolutions.com and you can get connected with one of our trusted ELPs to help you walk through this so that you don't have this giant tax bill ever again.
Never again set yourself up where you're under the thumb of these people. Anyone, for that matter, of kind of debt, but this is the worst possible kind of debt, and it goes to the top of your debt snowball. Portia's in Houston, Texas. Hey, Portia, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Thank you, Dave, my favorite person.
Well, thank you.
I obsessed with your show.
See, George,
so.
I told you.
It hurt a little bit. I'm not going to lie, Portia, but I'm fine.
George?
I'm fine.
George,
I'll earn your love
George,
over time.
No, George, you're my favorite, one of my favorites.
Sure.
Ramsey
Okay, we'll get to your
Among
question,
the Ramsey
Portia.
personalities, George.
Wow.
Yeah. All right, Portia, what you got?
So this is what I have. And basically, I'm paying for being stupid in the past. I've already beat myself up.
Okay.
And I need to climb out of it.
So we don't have to. Okay.
I made, I'm $111,000 in debt. 84% of that is student loans. 16% of that is my car. My car, I owe $17,961.71. I made in the past, before COVID, I made $120,000 a year as a general manager at Fitness Connection. I ran multiple locations in Houston. Now I'm taking a huge salary cut by $78,000. I only make $42,000 a year now.
With the same company?
No, with a different company.
Were they shut down because of COVID on the gyms?
They made major changes.
Okay.
I'll just say that. They made a lot of major changes.
All right. So what are you doing now?
I work at the at my school at the University of Houston downtown. I'm in grad school, and I'm getting my MBA in finance and also investment management. Since being in my MBA program and learning from you, I've just learned so much about following the math, pretty much. And so now that I'm calculating everything, I'm just kicking myself.
When are you finishing all this and going to get back into the 120 range?
Well, actually, I've been taking out grants and scholarships.
When are you finishing all of this and going to get back into the 120 income range? All this MBA and school stuff.
You're right. Summer 2023, I'll be finished. But there's a caveat. I've actually received corporate finance certifications and approaching an internship to get experience.
Yeah,
so
what is your income going to be there?
I'll be in the six-figure range.
Oh, good. Okay. So then you can start knocking this out, right?
Yeah, so you don't suggest that I should start knocking it out now?
You start knocking it out now, but you can't knock it out now at 48 like you can knock it out when you're making 100. So I was trying to get your income up. That's where this conversation was going, and you already ahead of me. You already got a plan, which I'm glad to hear. You're a sharp lady. You got a lot of stuff going on in your brain. Make sure your brain takes you to tactical answers that cause money to come into your wallet. Because you have a good brain, and you're using it, but it needs to cause money to come into your wallet and then pay these bills. That's how this works. George Camel, good show.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Puts this hour of the Ramsey Show in the books. We'll be back with you before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace,
of the
Christ
Ramsey
Jesus.
Show. Did you know the Ramsey Show is one of the most popular podcasts in the world? Subscribe or follow today wherever you listen to podcasts.